Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me. So, what is anarchism? What is hierarchy? So, let's talk about this and let's get into this in detail because I think people would uh, want to understand what these things really mean. So, let's look at Wikipedia and see what they have to say what anarchism is. Now, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it around with anyone you think would find it useful. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and to click that little bell icon to receive email notifications, as well as to subscribe to my email newsletter and to get my books as well to support my work. You can find that all down below in the description. And I thank you for joining me here. Please do listen to this video and watch it all the way through. I really appreciate it. And don't forget that this is you're supporting my work every time you watch my videos. So thank you for joining me. So anarchism is a political philosophy and movement that rejects all involuntary coercive cohesive forms of hierarchy. It radically calls for the abolition of the state, which it holds to be undesirable, unnecessary, and harmful. So that is what it is. It's basically um, dismantling all forms of hierarchy. Hierarchy is, let's see what that really means. So let's just, hierarchy is an arrangement of items, objects, names, values, categories, etc., which in which the items represented as being above or below or at the same level as one another. Hierarchy is an important concept in a wide variety of fields such as philosophy, mathematics, computer science, organized theory, systems theory, and social sciences, especially political philosophy. Okay, let's get into this here. So hierarchy can really be anything. There's a hierarchy. Now, hierarchy is not bad in itself. Okay, not all hierarchies are bad. There may need to be a hierarchy system, but hierarchy in form of system, some kind of social system, like a system that we're in right now, a capitalism, um, communism, fascism, whatever you want to call it. This kind of system where we have people or entities above controlling and dominating and enslaving systems below that. So the lowest form would be non-human animal, would be food animals, would be the lowest one. Above that, we would have pets and maybe wild animals to be above that. Then above that would be people that are the most oppressed. Well, actually, above that would be environment. Actually, environment is less protective, less rights than humans. After that would be above that would be humans. So it would be people of darker skin color, people of not Caucasian, and women. Those are the ones that would be the lowest. Okay. Above that would be men, female, white, or Caucasian females would be above that. Then would be men, Caucasian. Okay. Then it would be men, Caucasian, that have a lot of money, etc., etc. Okay. Or darker skinned people that have a lot of money. And then above that would be people that have a lot of money that are Caucasian. And so forth and so forth. It goes all the way up until we get to God. And God might be considered some people at the top, or might even be the elite people, whoever they are, the cabal. Some people call them Illuminati, but Illuminati means illumination. So enlightened, basically, which is the wrong term. It's a cabal or shadow government, things like that, can be the guys on the top. Below them would be probably, as we know, government. Government, mega corporations, mainstream media. Now, give or take, that's kind of a hierarchy system. So that is what we call a hierarchy in today's society. And what we find is that we want to dismantle that, but not right away, because, of course, people not living with love, not holding values of love within their hearts, first of all, not being vegan is not adhering to the values of love and compassion and kindness and caring and empathy and joy and all that. And so when we don't hold these values, then we will need a government in place. Because unfortunately, what we're doing is we're enslaving, or at least we're paying farmers and slaughterhouse workers to pay to use, steal from, enslave, and kill non-human animals. When we do that, we cannot live in a utopia world. In a utopia world, the slaughterhouses and killing and of any sort and using and any of that stuff does not exist in that kind of world. Utopia, all these things, killing, slaughterhouses, violence, guns, military, wars, patriarch, sexism, racism, homophobia, all these oppressions, all these social justice movements, all these anti-social justice movements, or all these oppressions that we have today cannot exist in a utopian world. So there's total peace, total love, total compassion for all life. All life. So once we start to live completely free of any violence, completely free of any harm, then we can live in that sort of world where we're anarchists and nonconformists. Unfortunately, in this world, we don't live that way, but we can live as close as possible. We can strive to get there. First thing that we need to do is become vegan, because vegan means love for all life. That's what it ultimately means. Love for all life. And so when we govern our value, when we govern the world or the community or each other, we govern through our values of love and compassion for all life. So we don't harm, we don't steal, we don't kill, we don't use against their will, etc., etc. And so anarchism means that we live completely free, away from any sort of violence. That's what it typically means. It means that there is nobody oppressing anyone else, nobody below or above us. We're all equal in the sense we all have the right to living free lives without any oppression, without any harm, without any violence towards them. Okay? So, for example, I'm no better or worse than an ant. I'm no better or worse than any other human. I'm no better or worse than any other tree. I'm no better or worse than any other non-human animal. But doesn't mean that we are the exact same. Doesn't mean that we are equal that we are the same. No, we're equal only in the fact that we all deserve the right to live without being harmed, used against our will, and killed. And so we have to respect all the values that we hold. And the values that we hold as vegans and raw vegans, and I will read you the values. Okay, this is the values that we have so far. Of course, in time, it may be revised and updated. But these are the values that I hold dearly for the values, guiding principles, and information about us. Okay, so this is the World Vegan Community, peaceful-village.com/forum. Okay, so let's do this. Let's get into this. Okay, so now Peaceful Village and our online physical vegan world community and alternative living, and our purpose of creating a loving and compassionate world stems from our heart values of love and compassion, We are guided by love, and therefore our guiding principles and values are based on a life of unconditional love for all beings. However, transitioning to a utopian world where each of us are guided by our intuition and innate values of compassion for all life is not easy, as we have different views and ideas on how to achieve and transition to a utopian Eden world. I feel it is therefore, for the time being, we need a set of values and guiding principles until we get to that world where we are guided by our intuition and positive emotions of love, compassion, and kindness for all life, of course, including our precious Mother Earth. Please, okay, so let's see. Let's, 1 second here. So, our values. So, these are our values. Again, may be updated or revised at any time. So, these are our values and codes of ethics. Okay. So, this was updated a while back, but it needs to be updated anyways very shortly. So, being vegan. At Peaceful Village, no creature, human or non-human, is viewed as property to be used or harmed in any way. All of us here cherish all life. Therefore, everyone at Peaceful Village is vegan. This is a principle of ahimsa, a Sanskrit word meaning harmlessness or non-violence. It basically means non-violence to all beings, non-harm, non-use, non-exploitation of all beings. And this is the fundamental value which the others spring from, and why veganism is so important to share to others. In fact, Eden Fruitarian is, I think, the highest form of veganism. It's the extension of veganism, which really respects all life, including plants. This includes refraining from the consumption of animal foods such as meat, dairy, eggs, honey, etc., and products that contain animal ingredients while on the stewardship land as much as possible and practicable. We value all animals' freedoms. Therefore, at Peaceful Village, we do not support keeping domesticated animals such as pets or farmed animals in sanctuaries, but rather live harmoniously with naturally free roaming creatures in nature. So what do I mean by this? Okay, so let's say someone has a pet. So instead of keeping the pet in an enclosed small area or cage or on leashes, we have companion animals naturally free roaming in nature. Plain and simple, all animals deserve to live in nature. Now, of course, there are some exceptions to the rule. Of course, if you live in a city, which is a completely unnatural system, when you live in society, a completely unnatural system, you cannot just let animals roam around because they would be hit by cars, etc., etc. I mean, there would be so many problems just releasing all the companion animals, all the pets out into nature. It just wouldn't be possible, especially if we're living in cities. Okay, so if we're living in nature, yeah, just let animals roam free. It's not the best thing to do, but let nature take care of the situation. The whole idea is to let nature take care of the situation. So if we have companion animals, let them run around free, let them hunt for their own food. That is what nature, that's part of nature, the natural balance. Okay. Now, even though dogs and cats and other domesticated animals are not natural, they're not naturally not natural to be roaming around freely in nature. They have a natural instinct to be free. Okay, so anytime we constrict their freedom, anytime we have a fence around the area, or we have a chain on them like a leash, or in a cage or something like that, they're not free. Just remember that non-human animals, like pets, are not free. So we have to realize this. And even farm sanctuary animals are not free. Again, there are some exceptions, and sometimes unfortunately, some animals cannot be rehomed back into nature. We may need to do the best that we can. Okay. So, the second one, treat everyone kindly. We treat every human animal equally and reject all forms of discrimination. We treat everyone as we want to be treated, with kindness, love, and respect. Not to steal. Okay, so let's go into this number two in a little more detail. So basically, we have no right to use anyone for anything. Okay, absolutely nothing. So do not use anyone, absolutely nothing, and for nothing, unless they give us their time freely. Okay. Not to steal. Number three, not to take what is not given, but to respect the things of others. We refrain from taking the property, time, or life energy of others if not given freely, directly to us. Okay? Number four, no sexual misconduct. Not to engage in sexual misconduct. This refers to any action of the body, speech, or mind that sees another as an object for our own self gratification. So, meaning we should not force sexual conduct or misconduct on another against their wish, against their anything, where it may be with our minds, with our hearts, or with our physical body, not to harm another sexually. Okay? Or sees another as sexual object. Number five, speak the truth. So we have to speak the truth. So not to lie, but speak the truth. We avoid telling falsehoods or exaggerations internally or externally through any deceitful action, word, or thought with the intent to harm others. So basically, if we need to lie to protect our rights, our birthrights, if we're lying, for example, to government or police force to protect our rights, our birthrights, and it doesn't harm others, meaning it doesn't harm individual people, then that is okay. But if it harms someone, if we're actually lying to harm someone, then that is not right. So in general gist of it, we do not lie. We speak the truth whenever possible, okay? Unless we absolutely need to protect ourselves from police force, governments, etc., etc. And of course, it does not harm anyone. So, no use of any intoxicants. So, not to use or cause others to use alcohol beverages, cigarettes, cigars, vapors, or drugs. We believe in order to be spiritually at peace with ourselves, the universe, and everyone and everything that is part of it, we need not consume any substance that negatively affects our mind, body, and heart. Okay. And lastly, respecting nature. We respect nature, and that is why we never use any harmful chemicals, poisons that destroy the earth. Therefore, we implement and advocate for veganic permaculture gardening. We never use any animal manure, urine, bone meal, feather meal, fish meal, blood meal, or anything else that comes from non-human animals. Instead, we may use the following: plant compost, vegan human manure and urine, wood chips, twigs, leaves, and other vegan ecological friendly materials whenever possible. So that is that. And that ends this conversation about hierarchy and anarchism. Now, nonconformity is a little different, and that's a little different topic that I'm going to be discussing in other videos as well. So that's really about it. If anybody has anything they want to post or comment, please do so down below. All the links will be posted in the description, so you can definitely take a look at that. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it around with all your friends and family. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and to click that bell icon to receive notifications in your email, and to subscribe to the email newsletter as well, and to support me by buying my books. And that's really about it, everyone. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you soon.